start. Sada bala rupapi vighnadrihantri mahadanti vaktrapi panchasya manya vidhindra adimridya ganesha abhidhame vidhattam shriyam kapi kalyanamurtihi. So, Simha-Shrugala Katha. So, we saw that in the last class. I don't think there is a need for going through this again because it's almost the same as Ushtra-Kakadi Katha. So, any questions I can take at the end, but otherwise I think we'll skip this portion. We saw that there were Kravyamukha and Chaturamukha. There were two Shrugalas who were always with this Vajradamshtra. And then there was a Dasera Kashishu that the Vajradamshtra did not kill, and then he named him Shankukarana. Then when he came of age, he always roamed around with them. And one day, just like the previous lion, the Vajradamshtra had to encounter a wild elephant, and he was brutally hurt by the elephant and was going to die. And then these people come and propose that Shankukarana can offer his body in return for twice the original strength and twice the body, and the vulnerable Shankukarana, and he was not just vulnerable, no, stupid to have fallen into Chaturaka's trap, and he perished. And then Chaturaka wanted to enjoy the meat of the camel all by himself, and hence somehow devised a strategy and shooed away both the Kravyamukha, the wolf, and Vajradamshtra himself, right? We saw that he said Dharmarajastavo parikruddhaha saha ayati etat sarvam saha uktavan. Then Sanjivakaha chintayamasa. Then we come to Sanjivaka's worry, Sanjivaka's anxiety. Atha damanake gate Sanjivakas chintayamasa. Aho himetan maya kritam yachashpadopi mamsashinas tasyanugas samrittaha. Mamsashinas tasya anugas samrittaha athava sadhvidam uchyate. So once Damanaka left, Sanjivaka thought to himself, what is it that I have done? Even though I know that I am a grass eater myself, shashpa adaha api mamsashinaha tasya pingalakasya. So I became an anuga, a follower of that meat eater Pingalaka. Oh, what a bloody mistake. Athava sadhvidam uchyate agamyan yafpuman yatyasevyamscha nishevate samrityum upagranhati garbham ashvatari yatha. Oh, I think we did not see this. Okay. Agamyan yafpuman yati asevyamscha nishevate samrityum upagranhati garbhamashvatari yatha. Agamyan yafpuman yati asevyamscha nishevate samrityum upagranhati garbhamashvatari yatha. Agamyan yaha puman yati asevyan cha nishevate saha mrityum upagranhati garbham ashvatari yatha. So yaha puman, so that man, agamyan yati, so who goes towards those places that are not to be approached, the one who approaches those that are not to be approached. Agamyan yati asevyan cha nishevate. And he serves those who are not to be served. Asevyan cha nishevate saha mrityum upagranhati yatha ashvatari garbham. So ashvatari is a cross. It is a mule. Okay, so it's a cross between a horse and a donkey, I think. Okay, so ashvatari, it is said that any ashvatari who gets pregnant actually dies. Okay, so ashvatari yada garbham grinhati sa janati sa nischayameva marishyati. So the moment the ashvatari gets pregnant, she knows that she will die. Evameva yaha puman agamyan yati asavyan nishevate saha mrityum upagranhati. So it is like he invites death all by himself with full awareness, like Ashvatari. tat kim karomi, kva gacchami, katham me shantir bhavishyati, athava tameva pingalakam gacchami, kadachin mam sharanagatam rakshati, pranairna viyojayati, yata uttancha. Tat kim karomi, kva gacchami, katham me shantir bhavishyati. So what do I do? Kim karomi, kva gacchami, kutra gacchami, where do I go? What should I do now? Katham me shantir bhavishyati. So how can I be at peace now? Okay. What are the options that are there in front of me? Because I know that Pingalaka has set his eyes on me now. Even if I run away to some other place, it will not be a solution, because a Mahan, a great man, or a powerful man, a strong man, once he has set his eyes on an enemy, he will anyway finish him off, no matter where he goes. Right? So I don't even have the option of running away. I think we saw all this in the previous classes. Right? Sanjeevaka was never agreed to Damanaka's idea of fleeing the country, leaving the place. Athava tameva pingalakam gaccha. Or let me go and approach Pingalaka himself. Let me go and surrender to Pingalaka. Kadachin mam sharanagatam rakshati. It is possible that he does not kill me, who has come as a refugee, who takes refuge in him. Probably he will not kill me, I don't know. Kadachit mam saha rakshati. Pranairna viyojayati. The worst case, at least he will not kill me. Okay? He might abandon me, do something, but then at least it's possible that he does not kill me. Yata uttancha. Otherwise, this is also okay. Why? Loke thava tanubhritam nija karma pakam nityam samashritavatam vihita kriyanam bhavarjitam shubhamathava shubhamathapya shubham nikamam yadbhavi tadbhavati natra vichara hetuhu. Loke thava tanubhritam nija karma pakam nityam samashritavatam vihita kriyanam bhavarjitam shubhamathapya shubham nikamam yadbhavi tadbhavati natra vichara hetuhu. Loke athava tanubhritam vihita kriyanam tanubhritam nija karma pakam nityam samashritavatam vihita kriyanam bhavarjitam shubham atha api ashubham nikamam yadbhavi tadbhavati na atra vichara hetu. He finally takes this stance of a philosopher, because all these days he was telling all good things, great things, philosophical things. Sanjeevaka and Pingalaka were conversing. Right? So now he picks one such verse and says, Yadbhavi tadbhavati. What is to happen will happen. Na atra vichara hetu. So there is no room for thought here. What is there to analyze here? There is no room for analysis. There is no cause for analysis. Atra vichara hetuhu nasti. Yadbhavi tadbhavati. What is to happen will happen. That's all. And nikamam shubham athava ashubham. It can be very good or very bad. Does not matter. Nikamam shubham athava ashubham. Bhavarjitam. Bhavarjitam. Nama, whatever one has earned through one's own bhava. Here one's own bhava means one's own making. Okay. Bhavarjitam shubham va ashubham yadbhavi tadbhavati. What is to happen will happen. Okay. For whom? For tanubhritam. For those who have taken a body. So the very fact that we have been given a body is because we have to exhaust a certain set of karmas that we have already accumulated, which is called prarabdha. Right? So this body is given for the exhaustion of prarabdha only. So when it has already been decided that that is what is going to happen, yadbhavi tadbhavati. What is to happen will happen. So there is no room for analyzing here. There's no need for me to analyze. I don't have to worry. Tanubhritam shubham va ashubham va bhavarjitam yadvartate yadbhavi tadbhavati. Okay. So athava, otherwise. Okay. So athava, otherwise is just something that comes along. See, Sanjeevaka has been thinking and he says, See, otherwise, loke vihita kriyanam nityam nija karma pakam samashrita-vatam tanubhritam. So, tanubhritaha kidrishaha vayam nityam nija karma pakam samashrita-vataha. So, samashritavantah tanubhritaha. So, we are all at the feet of our karma paka, because at last our karma paka is going to win. So we all have taken ashraya in our karma paka. Nija karma pakam samashrita-vatam tanubhritam. So to those people who have taken a body in this loka and who are always at the mercy of their own karma paka, karma phala, vihita kriyanam, and those who have performed kriyas, okay, karmas in their previous lives, in their previous time, those who have already performed karma and now have taken refuge at those karma phalas, tadrishanam tanubhritam bhavarjitam yad bhavati tad bhavati. Yadbhavi tadbhavati. So, according to their bhava, whatever is to happen is going to happen. Atra vichara hetu nasti. There is no room for thinking here. Aparanchanyatra gatasyapi me kasyachid dushta sattvasya mamsashinaha sakashan mrityur bhavishyati tadvaram simhat. Aparancha anyatra gatasya api me kasyachit dushta sattvasya mamsashinaha sakashat mrityuhu bhavishyati tadvaram simhat uktancha. See, moreover, aparancha anyatra gatasya api me. See, even when I go to some other place, see, taking Damanaka's advice, if I am going to flee to some other place, anyasya gatasya me, even then, to me, what is going to happen? Dushta sattvasya sakashat mrityur bhavishyati. I could be killed by a wild beast. Dushta sattvasya. Mamsashinaha, that also being a meat eater, I could get killed at the hands of some other wild beast, some other meat eater. It is better I get killed by this lion. Varam Simhat. It is better that I get killed by my own Pingalaka. At least I know him. It is okay. Why? Uttancha. Mahadhispardhamanasya vipadev gariyasi dantabhangopi naganam shlaghyo girividarane. Mahadhispardhamanasya vipadev gariyasi dantabhangopi naganam shlaghyo girividarane. Mahadbhihi spardhamanasya vipat yeva gariyasi dantabhangaha api naganam shlaghyah girividarane. So, naganam dantabhangaha. So the breaking up of the tusks of elephants. Naganam dantabhangaha girividarane. Okay. So when they go and try to attack a mountain, elephants are seen to go and attack mountains with their tusks. Okay. So when they are trying to tear open the mountain, then they go and attack them with the tusk. Girividarane naganam dantabhangaha jayate. What will happen when the elephant goes and hits itself against a huge mountain? Okay. What happens? Naganam dantabhangaha bhavati. So the tusks break, right? But then the breaking up of the tusk of an elephant, which goes and rubs itself against a huge mountain, is praised. Okay, that this elephant's tusk got broken when it went and rubbed itself against some mountainous terrain. Okay? It's a matter of praise. Why? Because Giri is so great, it is so huge, and this elephant went and picked up a fight against the mighty mountain. Yeah. So even the defeat that this Naga incurs is praised. It is praiseworthy. Naganam dantabhangaha api shlaghyaha girividarane jataha naganam dantabhangaha shlaghyaha eva. It is praiseworthy only. Evameva mahadbhis spardhamanasya janasya vipadeva gariyasi. So vipat is some kind of a distress, some kind of an apat, some kind of an obstacle, trouble, distress. Mahadbhihi spardhamanasya janasya. So to that person who is going against a great mighty being, tadrishasya janasya vipadapi gariyasi, even defeat, even distress, even an obstacle that a normal man or that an ordinary person goes through, when he goes against a really mighty person, then this becomes praiseworthy. So just for his courage, he can be praised that he went up against such a mighty person, such a strong person. Mahadbhis parthamanasya vipadeva gariyasi. Tathacha mahatopi kshayam labdhva shlagham nichopi gacchati danarthi madhupo yadvat gajakarna samahataha. Mahatopi kshayam labdhva shlagham nichopi gacchati danarthi madhupo yadvat gajakarna samahataha. Same idea. Mahataha api kshayam labdhva shlagham nichaha api gacchati dana arthi madhupaha yadvat gajakarna samahataha. So this mahataha kshayam labdhva. So incurring defeat, getting defeated from a mighty person, from a strong person. Mahataha sakashat kshayam labdhva nichaha api adhamaha api, even a small being, okay, a small creature, shlagham gacchati, becomes praiseworthy, attains praise. How? Yadvat gajakarna samahataha danarthi madhupaha. So madhupa is honeybee. Okay. So honeybee, what it tries to do is, it tries to, so the rut that oozes out of the elephant, right? The mother jala. Okay. Danarthi. So mother jalarthi madhupaha. So for tasting that mother jala, it goes around the elephant's ears and then gets stuck there and killed. Okay. Gajakarna samahataha madhupaha shlagham eva gacchati. But then at the end it is praised for having gone against the huge elephant and for being defeated at the hands of elephant when trying to taste its mother. Okay. Trying to taste its rut, it perished. So in this manner, it is only praised. Okay. So even being such a small creature, it attempted to do such a huge thing. Okay. So even he took such a huge risk. Okay. So thus risk-taking nature is appreciated. Evam nishchitya saskhalitagatir mandam gatva simha-shrayam pashyan apathat aho sadhvidam uchyate. Evam nishchitya saha skalitagatihi mandam gatva simha-shrayam pashyan apathat aho sadhvidam uchyate. So deciding this, evam nishchitya saha kaha, saha sanjeevakaha, saha vrishabhaha sanjeevakaha, the bull, skhalita gatihi. Okay. So he was not able to walk properly. Okay. Took a step, then came back. Took a step, came back. He was stumbling. With stumbling movement, mandam gatva, walked very slowly and sat in front of the simha. Simha-shrayam pashyan. Simhasya ashrayam pashyan. So he set his eyes on the place where the simha was residing. Probably his den. Simhasya ashrayam pashyan. Durataha pashyani. It didn't go near. He didn't go near. But then looking at the simha's ashraya from far off, he told this shloka. He said this shloka. Pashyan apathat aho sadhvidam uchyate. It is indeed rightly observed. This Antaralina bhujangamam grihamiva vyalakulam bhavanam graha kirnamiva bhirama kamalachayasanatham saraha nityam dushta janaira satyavachana saktairanaryairvritam दुःखेन प्रतिगम्यते प्रचकितैराज्ञां गृहं पार्थिवत् अन्तर्लीन भुजङ्गमं गृहमिव व्यालाकुलं पावनं ग्राहाकीर्णमिवाभिरामकमलच्छायासनाथं सरः नित्यं दुष्टजनैरसत्यवचनैः नित्यं दुष्टजनैरसत्यवचनासक्तैरनार्यैर्वृतं दुःखेन प्रतिगम्यते प्रचकितैः राज्ञां गृहं पार्थिवत् अन्तः लीनभुजङ्गमं गृहम् इव व्याल आकुलं वा वनं ग्राह आकीर्णम् इव अभिराम कमल छाया सनाथं सरः नित्यं दुष्टजनैः असत्यवचन आसक्तैः अनार्यैः वृतं दुःखेन प्रतिगम्यते प्रचकितैः राज्ञां गृहं वार्धिवत्. How to do the Anvaya? Too many shabdas. Can start from here. प्रचकितैः वार्धिवत् दुःखेन राज्ञां गृहं प्रतिगम्यते. राज्ञां गृहं दुःखेन प्रतिगम्यते. So the abode of the king is attained. Okay, one goes towards the abode of the king with great shoka, with great dukkha. Rajñam griham dukkhena pratigamyate. It is attained with a lot of dukkha. One goes towards it with a lot of dukkha and shoka. Vardhivat, like one would approach the great ocean. Okay, suppose if one has to go and get inside the ocean. So imagine his bhaya. Okay, tadvat dukkhena rajñam griham vardhivat pratigamyate. So just like the kind of fear one would have when one has to enter a huge ocean which is inhabited by deadly creatures, evameva rajñam griham api pratigamyate. Kaihi, by whom is the king's abode approached with so much of fear and shoka in one's heart? Prachakitaihi. Prachakitaha nama bhitaha. So the one who is afraid, the one who is shy and afraid. Prachakita is not a very mighty person. He is a very meek person. Tadrishaihi prachakitaihi janaihi rajñam griham dukkhena pratigamyate. Rajñam griham punaha kidrisham vartate chet. And how is it compared? Rajñam griham antaralina bhujangamam grihamiva vartate. So it is like a house that has snakes inside it. Antaralina bhujangamam. So bhujangamaha antaha linaha yatra vartate tadrisham sthalam. So the place where the bhujangamas are staying inside. Tadrisham griham. Okay, bhikaram bhavati khalu. It's very, very frightening in order to enter that house, right? Athava vyala akula vanamiva va bhavati rajñam griham. Or it is like a forest that is occupied by terrifying wild beasts. Vyala akula vanamiva. Athava graha akirnam abhirama kamala chaya sanatham saraha iva va bhavati. So it is like a pond. Okay, rajñam griham saraha iva asti. It is like a pond. Okay, and this, how is this sara? It is abhirama kamala chaya sanatham. So it is filled with sanatham, means yuktam. We have seen this shabda pada repeatedly in many stories in Panchatantra. Sanatham saraha, sanatham saraha. Some sanatham saraha. Okay, so kamala sanatham saraha. So hamsa sanatham saraha, hamsa yuktam saraha. So, and how is this Sara? It has Abhirama Kamala. Abhirama Kamala, beautiful lotuses, Chaya. So, with the Kanti, with the beauty of very, very nice, shining lotuses, this Sara is filled. Okay, so it is very attractive. One, it would urge, it would create an urge inside a person. Naturally, people will be drawn towards it. But then, what if it is also Graha Akirana? That means it also has very wild aquatic creatures, let us say, like crocodiles and whatnot. Very wild aquatic creatures that are very dangerous. Tadrishaihi grahaihi akiranam abhirama kamalachayasanatham saraha iva rajyam griham api bhavati. So Raja's abode could be attractive for various reasons, but then it is very dangerous, like a beautiful pond that could be that is occupied by wild aquatic creatures. Iva, and how is this griha? Nityam asatya vachana asaktaihi anaryaihi dushta janaihi vritam. It is surrounded by dushta janas. It is surrounded by wicked men and who are anaryas. Anarya means uncivilized. Okay, they have no culture whatsoever. Uncultured people. Anaryaihi dushta janaihi punaha kidrishaihi asatya vachana asaktaihi. So they are attached to asatya vachana. They don't care for truth one bit. Tadrishaihi asatya vachana asaktaihi anaryaihi dushta janaihi vritam rajnyam griham rajabhavanam tadrisham bhayankaram sthanam vartate. Tadrisham sthanam prachakitaihi dukkhena pratigamyate. So people who are meek by nature, it is indeed with great fear and shoka that they approach such a place. So Sanjeevaka remembers this shloka and chants this aloud and sits in front of him. Does not right in front, but then he sits at a place from where he is visible to Pingalaka and he can also see Pingalaka. Tadrishe sthale saha upavishya evam pathati. Ayam shlokam pathati. Shlokasya ganam karoti. So uchaihi pathati or chintayati. Think of it in any way. He sits down saying this. Evam pathanne damanakoptakaram pingalakam drishtva prachakita samvrita shariro durataram pranama kritim vina upavishtaha. Pingalakopi tathavidham tam vilokya damanakavakyam shraddadhana kopat tasyopari papat. Atha sanjeevakaha khara naka vikartita prishta shringabhyam tadudara mullikhya kathamapi tasmadapeta shringabhyam antumichan yuddhaya avasthita. Evam pathan damanaka utta akaram pingalakam drishtva prachakitaha samvrita shariraha durataram pranama kritim vina api upavishtaha. Pingalakaha api tathavidham tam vilokya damanaka vakyam shraddadhanaha kopat tasya upari papata. Atha sanjeevakaha khara nakha vikartita prishtaha shringabhyam tadudaram ullikhya kathamapi tasmadapetaha shringabhyam hantumichan yuddhaya avasthitaha. Evam pathan. So, saying this, damanaka utta akaram pingalakam drishtva. So, seeing pingalaka in the form that Damanaka already described, that with red eyes he will be licking the corners of his mouth and will be full of wrath and look at you. That is what Damanaka had described, right? So Tadrishakaram Pingalakam Drishtva. He really finds Pingalaka in that form now. Prachakitaha. Immediately he is frightened. Samvrita Shariraha. Saha kim karoti? Samvrita Shariraha bhavati. So immediately he contracts his body. Okay, he is afraid. He He's after all a domestic beast, right? So he's immediately afraid. Even the gaze of the lion is enough to frighten Sanjeevaka. Chakitaha Samvrita Shariraha. He contracts his body. Urataram. So, but then he is at a considerable distance away from the lion. Pranama kritim vina api upavishtaha. So now he does not bow down to Pingalaka. Usually he does that, right? But then now he does not do pranama. So pranama kritim vina. So without bowing down to Pingalaka, he is sitting there. Pingalakaha api tathavidham tam vilokya. So seeing him in that form. Okay, Damanaka had already mentioned that he will not do pranama to you. Okay, he will appear very arrogant and he will sit there just like that. Damanaka vakyam shraddadhanaha. And keeping Damanaka's vakya in mind, paying attention to that. Okay, so keeping that in mind, recalling that, kopat, lot of anger, tasyopari papata, jumps on him, attacks him. What does Sanjeevaka do? Atha, then Sanjeevakaha khara nakha vikartita prishtha. So his prishtha, his back is torn by the khara nakha. So by the nails of the lion, his prishtha bhaga is torn. Shringabhyam tadudara mullikhya. So what does he do? For his side, he tries to, tear open the stomach portion of the lion, but ullikhya, he tries to do that. So with his pawn, he scratches his udara. Shrangabhyam tad udara mullikhya kathamapi tasmad apetaha. With great difficulty, he tries to separate himself from the lion. Kathamapi tasmat pingalakad apetaha, separated from Pingalaka. Shringabhyam hantumichan, and now wants to kill him, attack him using his shringas. Yudhaya avasthitaha, is now ready for the battle and he is waiting to attack. Yudhaya avasthitaha. Seeing this, there is a conversation that goes on between Damanaka and Karataka. So we have this scene. So this is like a picture, right? So picture captured from a video. Okay, so the scene is there. The author stops there now, and that becomes a still image for us. And we go to Karataka and Damanaka. Athadvavapitau pushpita palasa pratimau paraspara vadhakangshinau drishtva Karatako Damanakamaha bo mudhamate anayor virodham vitanvata tvayana sadhukritam. Nachatvam niti tattvam vetsi niti vidbhiruktancha atha dvau apitau pushpita palasha pratimau paraspara vadhakangshinau drishtva Karatakaha Damanakam aha bo mudhamate anayoho virodham vitanvata tvaya sadhuna kritam nachatvam niti tattvam vetsi niti vidbhihi uttamcha. Dvau apitau. So those two, how are they? Pushpita palasha pratimau. So they are like the fully bloomed palasha flower, which is red in color. So both of them are red because both of them are angry and vengeful. Paraspara vadhakangshinau, and now are literally at each other's throat, want to kill each other. Drishtva, seeing both of them in this manner. Karatakaha Damanakama. Karataka tells Damanaka, Ho mudhamate, you fool. Anayoho virodham vitanvata tvaya sadhunakritam. By you, who has created this enmity, who has widened this enmity, who has created this enmity between these two. Sadhunakritam. Good thing has not been done by you. You have not done the right thing. Nachatvam niti tattvam vetsi. And you also do not understand the tattva of niti. The essence of niti you have completely missed. You don't know. Niti vidbihi uttam. Niti with, okay, people who are wise men, who are good at niti, who know niti shastra very well, they have remarked this. What is it that they have told? कार्याण्युत्तमदण्डसाहसफलान्यायाससाध्यानि ये प्रीत्या संशमयन्ति नीतिकुशलाः साम्नैव ते मन्त्रिणः निस्साराल्पफलानि ये त्वविधिना वाञ्छन्ति दण्डोद्यमैस्तेषां दुर्नयचेष्टितैर्नरपतेरारोप्यते श्रीस्तुलाम् कार्याण्युत्तमदण्डसाहसफलान्यायाससाध्यानि ये प्रीत्या संशमयन्ति नीतिकुशलाः साम्नैव ते मन्त्रिणः निस्साराल्पफलानि ये त्वविधिना वाञ्छन्ति दण्डोद्यमैस्तेषां दुर्नयचेष्टितैर्नरपतेरारोप्यते श्रीस्तुलाम् कार्याणि उत्तम दंड साहस फलानि आयास साध्यानि ये प्रीत्या संशमयन्ति नीतिकुशलाः साम्ना एव ते मन्त्रिणः निस्सार अल्पफलानि ये तु अविधिना वाञ्छन्ति दण्ड उद्यमैः येषां दुर्नयचेष्टितैः नरपतेः आरोप्यते श्रीः तुलाम् ये उत्तमदण्डसाहसफलानि आयाससाध्यानि कार्याणि प्रीत्या साम्ना एव संशमयन्ति ते नीतिकुशलाः मन्त्रिणः भवन्ति. So according to Karataka, and of course, he says that this is what is the essence of Niti, is that those alone are fit to be called as ministers. Te eva mantrinaha bhavanti. Te niti kushalaha, expert in niti shastras, mantrinaha bhavanti. Ke ye pritya samna eva samshamayanti. So those who resolve conflicts using sama strategy. Okay, those who samshamana means to calm down, so to resolve a conflict. So those who are capable of resolving a conflict through the sama upaya, by adopting sama strategy, pritya, with affection, with love, with tenderness, without resorting to violent methods, pritya, with soft methods, samna eva ye samshamayanti, karyani ye samshamayanti, those who are able to resolve conflicts in this manner, they are niti kushala mantris. They alone are fit to be called so. And punaha kidrishani karyani ayasa sadhyani uttama danda sahasa phalani. So those karyas that are usually resolved by so those karyas that actually demand a uttama danda sahasa, okay, that require the application of the fourth upaya, which is danda among samadana bheda danda. Danda is the last resort, right? Those who use those karyas that actually look like, if you do not apply dandaniti here, there is no possibility of reconciliation. Tadrishani karyani, ayasa sadhyani karyani, that have to be accomplished by putting huge effort. Tadrishani karyani api ye pritya samna eva samshamayanti. Those who are capable of resolving even such brutal conflicts through the application of samaniti, te eva niti kushalaha. Then only you can be praised for being a niti nipuna, and you can be called mantri. Yetu. But then on the other hand, yetu nisara alpaphalani karyani avidhina danda udyamaihi vanchanti tesham durnaya cheshtitaihi narapatehe shrihi tulam aropyate. So ye, on the other hand, those avidhina danda udyamaihi vanchanti. So those who want to resolve karyas, conflicts, through avidhina danda, avidhi means without resorting to a proper niti way, by hook or crook, by devising their own strategy, okay, without following the time-tested methods. Avidhina, danda udyamaihi, by resorting to danda principles, and nissara alpapalani, okay, and they are not even great conflicts, okay, they are really, even for petty conflicts, those who adopt danda udyamaihi avidhina ye vanchanti samshamanam vanchanti tesham durnaya cheshtitaihi, because of their wrong behavior, because of their wrong policies, because of their wrong strategies, narapatehe shrihi tulam aropyate, means what? All the wealth or the prosperity of the king is put on a balance, means what? Is tested, will be taken for a toss. You cannot trust such policies, but then my time-tested methods are such that they will always yield results. But these methods that you are talking about, not only are they wrong because they are not in accordance with the time-tested principles, they are avidhis. Not only it is an avidhi, it is not only that, but then because of these kind of risky actions, you put the entire prosperity, the wealth of the king at risk. So that is there, and that is what you have also done now by creating a conflict between the bull and the simha. That is what you have done. तद्यदि स्वाम्यभिघातो भविष्यति तत्किं त्वदीय मंत्रबुद्ध्या क्रियते अथ संजीवको नवध्यते तथाप्यभव्यं यतः प्राणसन्देहात् तस्य च वधः तन्मूढ कथं त्वं मन्त्रिपदमभिलषसि सामसिद्धिं न वेत्सि तद्वृथा मनोरथोऽयं ते दण्डरुचेः उक्तं च तद्यदि स्वामी अभिघातः भविष्यति तत्किं त्वदीय मंत्रबुद्ध्या क्रियते अथ संजीवकः नवध्यते चेत् तथा अपि अभव्यं यतः प्राणसन्देहात् तस्य च वधः तत् मूढ कथं त्वं मन्त्रिपदम् अभिलषसि सामसिद्धिं न वेत्सि तत् वृथा मनोरथः अयं ते दण्डरुचेः. No. See, both of them are at each other's throats now. Swami abhigataha bhavishyati chet. What if our Swami dies? Tat kim tvadiya mantra buddhya kriyate. Then what can we do with your fine brain, huge intellect that you were praising all along? What will be the use of that? Whom will that intellect be used for? What will it serve? Without a purpose, the mind is absolutely useless. What have you done? We cannot become the kings anyway. We are jackals, right? We cannot become the king. We cannot become the lion. What if our king dies because of your policy? Or if you say, at least, can Sanjivaka be alive now? Atha Sanjivakaha navadhyate tathapi abhavyam. It is not possible that Sanjivaka will not be killed now. That is also not possible. Why? Pranasandehat tasya cha vadhaha. See, he has already been brutally wounded. Because of that, he is going to die. You fool, mudha. Katham tvam mantripadam abhilashasi. How is it that you want to become the minister? You have absolutely no qualification for that. Sama siddhim navetsi. You do not know sama policy at all. Tad vritha manorathaha ayam te dandaruchehe. Te dandaruchehe. You who are interested in danda, okay, who are so much fond of danda, for you, this is an empty wish. It will never be fulfilled. I am manorathaha yat tvam mantripadam abhilashasi yat tvam mantri bhavitum ichhasi saha manorathaha tvadiyaha manorathaha tava manorathaha. That wish of yours is futile. It is not going to be accomplished anytime. Why? Samadhi danda pariyanto nayah प्रोक्तस्वयं भुवा तेषां दण्डस्तुपापीयां स्तम्पश्चाद्विनियोजयेत् सामादिदण्डपर्यन्तो नयः प्रोक्तो स्वयं भुवा तेषां दण्डस्तुपापीयां स्तम्पश्चाद्विनियोजयेत् सामादिदण्डपर्यन्तः नयः प्रोक्तः Swayambhuva. tesham dandahatu papiyan tam paschati viniyojayet. So swayambhuva samadi dandapariyantaha nayaha proktaha. So by swayambhuvu samadi dandapariyantaha nayaha proktaha. Starting from sama, ending in danda, all the naya strategies have been spoken by swayam. Tesham, among them, dandahatu papiyan. Danda is the worst among the four. It is very, very bad, extremely sinful. One is not to apply that. Only in the worst case, when you do not have any other option, you have to go for that. But it is papiyan, nevertheless. Dandahatu papiyan tasmat, and because of that, tam paschat viniyojayet, ante viniyojayet ityartha. When you have run out of all the options, you ought to employ danda policy. That is what is mentioned. Tathacha samnaiva yatra siddhiran tasam naiva yatra siddhirna tatra dando budhena viniyojyah pittam yadi sharkaraya shamyati korthaf patolena. Sam naiva yatra siddhirna dando budhena viniyojyah pittam yadi sharkaraya samyati korthaf patolena. Samna eva yatra siddhihi na tatra dandaha budhena viniyojyah pittam yadi sharkaraya samyati kaha arthaha patolena. Samna eva yatra siddhihi na tatra dandaha budhena viniyojyah. Budhena vipaschita buddhimata. So by an intelligent man, by a wise man. Tatra dandaha na viniyojyaha yatra samnaiva siddhihi bhavet. Danda should not be employed where one can accomplish siddhi, where siddhi can be attained using sama itself. Sama itself, when it can do the job for us, why employ danda? It should not be employed whatsoever. Dandaha tatra na viniyojyaha yatra samnaiva siddhihi bhavet. Where there is scope for success through the employment of sama policy, there is no scope for danda. It should not be used. Yadi pittam sharkaraya shamyati tarhi patolena kaha arthaha. So if pitta can be controlled by using sugar, sharkaraya pittam shamyati chet patolena kaha arthaha. Why should one go for patola? Patola is a variety of cucumber. It's bitter. Okay, so why go for something that is bitter when one has a sweeter option? So if you can take care of your pitta, bring your pitta under balance by consuming sharkara, which is sweet, do that. Why go for patola? Right? Evameva samna yatra siddhihi bhavati tatra dandasya viniyogaha kimartham ityeva ashaya. Tathacha Adau sama prayoktavyam purushena vijanata sama sadhyani karyani vikriyam yanti nakvachit. Adau sama prayoktavyam purushena vijanata sama sadhyani karyani vikriyam yanti nakvachit. Same idea. Adau vijanata purushena sama prayoktavyam. So sama is to be adopted by an intelligent man as the first option. First option that is used to resolve a conflict is sama. Talk to both the parties and see if they themselves are interested in resolving the conflict. Most likely it is possible that when an intelligent man goes and tries to talk to both the parties, it is possible that they come together and they resolve by themselves, because nobody wants a loss of property or loss of wealth, loss of money, loss of lot of soldiers, this and that. Many people might want to avoid all that, right? So employ sama and see and tell them about the side effects or the ill effects of bheda, danda, etc. Do that. Most likely people will come together. Employ that and see. Samasadhyani karyani kvachiti vikriyam nayanti. So So usually those karyas, conflicts that are resolvable by sama, they don't falter any time. They don't go wrong at all. It is a very, very reliable policy that can be trusted. Tatha cha. न चंद्रेण न चौषध्या न सूर्येण न वह्निना साम्नैव विलयं याति विद्वेष प्रभवं तमः न चंद्रेण न चौषध्या न सूर्येण न वह्निना साम्नैव विलयं याति विद्वेष प्रभवं तमः न चंद्रेण न च औषध्या न सूर्येण न वह्निना सामना एव विलयम याति vidvesha prabhavam tamaha. So the darkness that is born out of hatred, vidvesha prabhavam tamaha, darkness that is born out of hatred between two parties. Vidvesha prabhavam, vidveshataha jatam tamaha yadasti tat samna eva vilayam yati. So that goes away, that gets destroyed only through sam. Okay. Na chandrena. So chandra, the light of chandra cannot remove that darkness. No aushadhi can cure that tama. No surya can cure the tama, and no fire can bring light to cure such a darkness that is born out of hatred. So samna, but then through mutual reconciliation, through mutual talk, it can be resolved. तथा यत्वं मंत्रित्वम् अभिलषसि तदप्ययुक्तं यतस्त्वं मंत्रिगतिं न वेत्सि यतः पंचविधो मंत्रः स च कर्मणाम् आरम्भोपायः पुरुषद्रव्य संपत् देशकाल विभागः विनिपात प्रतीकारः कार्यसिद्धिश्चेति तथा यत्वं मंत्रित्वम् अभिलषसि तदप्ययुक्तं यतः त्वं मंत्रिगतिं न वेत्सि यतः पंचविधो मंत्रः सह च कर्मणाम् आरम्भोपायः पुरुषद्रव्य संपत् देशकाल विभागः विनिपात प्रतीकारः कार्यसिद्धिः च. And Damanaka, that you aspire for the post of the minister, that itself is not right. Ayuktam tat. Why? Yataha tvam mantri gatim navetsi. You do not know the way of the minister. You do not know what is it that he does. What are the things that he does. You have no idea about mantritva at all. You don't know what is mantri padavi also. Because mantra is of 5 types. Okay. So mantraha panchavidhaha bhavati. So the advice that the minister gives is 5-fold. Okay. Sahacha karmanam arambhopayah. So how to set things in motion in order to accomplish a certain goal. Karmanam arambhopayah. So the arambha strategy, how to start something, how to set things in motion. One has to know that. Purusha dravya sampat. Also one has to know and understand the manpower and the dravya power. Okay, purusha sampati, dravya sampati. Okay, so the manpower and the resources that are required for accomplishing a certain action, one has to have a complete understanding of that. And then desha kala vibhaga, one also has to know very well as to when what is to be used and where something is to be used and when is something to be used. One has to be aware of that. Desha kala vibhaga. Then vinipata pratikaraha. If there is a vinipata, if there is a calamity, if something goes wrong, what is the pratikara? What is the option? What are your options? What is it? What is your backup plan? One has to know that. And then karya siddhi, finally accomplishing it by taking it to the end, seeing the end of it is very important. Karya siddhi. All these are the 5-fold activities of mantrana. Mantrana involves these 5 things. You don't seem to be aware of all this. Soyam swamyamatyayo rekatamasya kimva dvayorapi vinipataha samutpadyate lagnaha tadyadi kachit shaktirasti tadvichintyatam vinipata pratikaraha bhinna sandhanehi mantrinam buddhi pariksha tanmurkha tatkartum asamarthastvam yataha ataha viparita buddhirasi. Uttancha. Saha ayam swami amatyayoho ekatamasya kimva dvayoho api vinipataha samutpadyate lagnaha. Tat yadi kachit shaktihi asti tat vichintyatam vinipata pratikaraha. Bhinna sandhanehi mantrinam buddhi pariksha murkha tatkartum asamarthaha tvam yataha ataha viparita buddhihi asi. Ayam swami amatyayoho ekatamasya. So among the swami, the lion and the minister, ekatamasya, among them, one of their vinipata is distress, calamity, okay, some kind of a disaster. A disaster samutpadyate lagnaha. It has now approached, it has now come. So now we are at a situation where among the swami and the minister, one of them is going to perish. Such a critical situation we are in. Athava dvayorapi, it is possible that even both of them die. We don't know what is going to happen. Etadrishe samaye yadi kachite shaktihi asti, if you are capable, as you claim yourself to be, vichintyatam vinipata pratikaraha. So think of some remedy for this vinipata, for using at this time of calamity. Think of something. Hinna sandhanehi mantrinam buddhi pariksha. So the real test of the mantri's intellect is in bhinna sandhana, in bringing together two things that are apart, in fitting something that is already broken, okay, that is apart. That is where one's mind is to be tested, right? Not in breaking things, not in destroying these things, but then, oh fool, tatkartum asamarthaha yataha. And because now you are incapable of fixing it, I'm sure you cannot do anything, you cannot get into that fight, right now, like the foolish, Mesha, no, not Mesha, like that Jambuka that got between the fight of two ferocious rams that were fighting in that Ashadha Bhuti Jambuka Duti Katha. Okay. Like that foolish Jambuka, obviously Damanaka is not going to get himself inside the fight between the lion and the bull. So Karataka says, now you cannot do anything. See what you have started. It has taken this shape now. Yataha tvam tat kartum asamarthaha, because you are incapable of fixing this discord, viparita buddhihi asi. You are not in the right mind at all, and you are definitely not fit for becoming the minister. 7:45 already, so I think I can stop here. I'll take questions tomorrow, okay, because there is another class schedule. I'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. There is a question. Naga refers to elephant in the shloka. There is no mention of snake anywhere in today's verse, I think. Samapayamah. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaskaraha.